The proposed hog farm in Ridge Farm is causing contention for the people who live there. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jessica Coons. There were a lot of complaints from people at a public hearing tonight, but there was also some support. This proposed hog farm would be built a little more than 2 miles west of the village. The Department of Agriculture had a hearing to get people's input before a decision is made on whether or not to allow the owners to build it. WCIA3's Jennifer Jensen was at that hearing. So Jennifer, what did people have to say?
Jessica, dozens of people came to the meeting. They were mainly concerned about the smell and the possible negative effects on property values. The parks companies would own and operate the hog farm called Parks Livestock E7. They're in the process of buying 3.5 to 4 acres of land where the barn would be located. It would house about 4,500 pigs. People questioned the farm engineer and owner about how they plan to control the smell. Their plan is to build a concealed concrete floor 8 feet deep with manure storage underneath, and they reassured people there would be no uncontrolled release of livestock manure, meaning it would not be exposed. The farm has about 600,000 acres of land nearby to distribute it, and there would be routine maintenance. People who spoke at the meeting had contrasting opinions about the farm being built so close to the village.
I bought my property that is in the country. It was quiet, peaceful. If there had been a hog farm there, I would have never bought it. Never been there. It seems like I'm being run out of my property is what it is. I'm going to be right honest with you. I have no issues with this. I see this as a pathway to keep a young man that's growing up in our community. A little background on me. I have a degree in animal science, a 4-year bachelor's degree. I worked in hog farms similar to this.
After this meeting, the Vermilion County Board will have 30 business days to make a decision on whether or not to recommend the proposal to the Department of Agriculture. But they don't have the final say. The Department of Agriculture will then have up to 15 days to make the final decision to approve that proposal. And if they get the green light, the company plans to start construction in the spring or summer next year. It would take about 2 to 3 months to complete, and they hope to have it open by the end of next year. Back to you.
All right, Jennifer, thank you. The Parks Companies is based out of Vermilion County. It owns 2 hog farms near Fithian, another near Rossville, and others in Iowa and Missouri.